Today I'm going to show you how you can use our SingleStore exporter, which exports monitoring data from your cluster, and send that data to Prometheus. Note that we have a monitoring solution that sends data to another SingleStore cluster or locally, but this solution is showing you how to actually send that data to Prometheus instead. As you can see, I have a small cluster running with 2 nodes. I've already installed Prometheus on this machine. Depending on the system you're running on, the installation instructions may be slightly different. So we've linked some resources directly to this video for you. The first step is to actually enable the exporter process from the SingleStore DB cluster that will allow you metrics to be available for Prometheus. So to do that, you can use SingleStore DB tools, or you can go directly into the database and set it via engine variables. I'm going to do it through the command line. So this just takes in a user and password. It can be any user with elevated permissions. I'm just going to use the root user. Great. Now that the exporter is running, we can go ahead and start configuring the Prometheus configuration YAML file in order to read data from this exporter. So I'm going to configure my YAML file to be in the Prometheus folder, and I'm just going to create a new file because it doesn't appear to be one. And in this YAML, you're going to put some information about your cluster. There's some default things like the scrape interval. You're going to input the information from the exporter, specifically what path it should take information from. In this case, it's cluster metrics. And you're also going to provide where the exporter lives and the host as well. In this case, it's the same machine, and the port is 9104. Great. I'm going to exit out of this. Do a quick check to make sure it looks good. Everything looks good here. And now we're going to go ahead and start Prometheus. To start Prometheus, you just type in Prometheus, then pass it the config file. Great. So it looks like this is all ready to information. So I'm going to navigate to the browser, which allows you to view and graph the metrics that are being collected. Great. So here you can see all of the different metrics that are being collected from the cluster. You have things like information from information schema. You have status variables. So let's say you just want to very quickly see what the server memory looks like. There's equal status total server memory. Maybe you want to graph it. There's 2 nodes, as you can see, and this shows you the server memory available for these 2 hosts. This UI is pretty useful, but what's even cooler is if you can go actually connect this up to Grafana. So show you how to do that as well. Grafana lives at port 3000, and again, it's installed on the same machine. I'm going to add a data source here. I'm going to add a Prometheus data source specifically, and all you have to do is fill in where your Prometheus instance is, which again lives on the same hosts here, and the port is 9090. That's all for default configuration. Let's test this out. Looks like it's working. Now, let's just go look at a sample dashboard and see what type of visualizations we can make. This UI has a lot of flexibility as compared to Prometheus UI. And we can look at all the different pieces of information similar to the Prometheus UI. So I'm just going to look at, similar to what I did in the previous chart, look at total server memory and graph it. As you can see, the data just started getting collected here. and surfaced. There are a wealth of metrics that you can collect and visualize here. Everything from engine variables to information schema, data, and query and resource usage. Stay tuned for more videos on how you can use Prometheus to monitor SingleStore.